Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk, thinking right out here in the lab when I do what I do for you. I got a nice little quick lesson for you to do today. Excuse me. I just jotted something down and I figured I got a few minutes, so let me get it to you. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a mess story in the mess. For life, I give life lessons based around mythological concepts. It's all good. But that's what I do for you. You seem to like it, tuning in. Appreciate the numbers. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. I see a lot of people starting to come along with that concept. Come on, we got plenty of room. Let's go. So that's my mission. Your job is to get the lessons I give to you daily and put them to use, and then you know thyself. That's my mission. Your goal is to reach that lesson or for yourself. Know thyself. Let's go. I asked the question, do you know you? If you don't have an answer for that question, it's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Now let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep spiritually. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake them up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right? Think, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I do my little lessons. I'm scrolling through, seeing my man Joseph Campbell again. Every time I see that guy, he inspires me to give a quick lesson on how he do what he do, which I give much respect for. If you want to tune into him, I don't do the plugging thing, but he's a good storyteller, a good mythological, bring it to life and give it meaning and understanding. A good teacher. Okay, Joseph Campbell, check him out. All right, here you go. Right thinkers. Let's talk about from my man Joseph Campbell myth speak a spiritual language that we all speak. You can tell a story to anybody without putting any labels and titles to it, and it'll get the point across without being um, racism or direct. No, it's a myth. It's a story to get a message across. It speaks a language. Let's go. I learned my spiritual truths by listening to what? The mythological stories. When I went to college, when I was back in 1875, I studied Greek mythology. I thought that was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Man, I tore into that Greek mythological concepts from the time I was 17. From that point on, as I was enthralled and thinking. I was the thinker. So and I would love to argue why. Because I knew if I had a point, I would stick to make my point. You couldn't dispute the point. So I learned how to do that in mythological stories. So it was Socrates. All right, here you go. Now, the purpose of the myth, like my man explained it to you, are to teach and to enlighten, educate you with a story, with a message in the story. Don't question did the story really happen. Don't worry about the literal meaning of the myth, the idea to get the plot, to understand the story that's being projected in the myth. I give stories every day. No two the same. Why? Because they all have a different purpose and different reason. I use whatever analogy or story I need to get my point across to make my message clear. That's why. And they tell you myths speak a language that we all speak. What? Truth is enlightening, freeing. They said what uh, oh my man, truth sets you free. Lies bond you. They hold you. They strip you. That's not good. And once you get better at recognizing a liar, You won't let them put you in that predicament because you know your discernment would be in order. Okay, but with a myth, it's just a story. Get the myth, get the story, understand it, and take the lesson and move on and use it the way it's intended to give you knowledge and understanding that you can live with. A myth don't have to be literal, true, or false. It just have to what? Deliver a message of truth that you can live by and learn and understand. Sorry about that. My right thinking philosophy is mine. The reason why I call it right thinking because it's the stories are going to be about me. Yeah, call me conceited, but no, I can use me as the barometer to tell you from whence I come. This is who I am now. I don't have a problem with that. So the myth ain't a myth; it's a real life story. So I understand that. I just put it in story form, but get it across. Why? Because I am the person I tell the life stories about. Not a fictitious person. I use him too. I've always used real life people to make my point. When I raised my kids, I got brothers who wasn't doing the right thing. Look at them. See how they look. You don't want that? No. Okay, so understand that. If you want to get young people attention, show them what you're trying to tell them. Why? They need to get the visual too. Okay, the visual is important. So understand that. And the myth is just the story. It ain't showing. It's just a story. You got to add to the story part. I mean, the showing part. Now, myths are what? Are stories that you can learn and live by. To what? Better yourself. You don't tell a story to somebody to do wrong. I don't tell you my stories are escalades of nonsense to show you, go do this. No, don't do that. So my mythological story is about what I did wrong and to give you a lesson of what not to do. Okay? I ain't gotta make up a story. I can tell you about mine. That's my whole point. Excuse me. Let's go. But yes, I am a storyteller. But because the stories about me, they're true stories. They're not made up fiction. No, I don't do that. No, no, no. But they're my life stories and my experiences, not myths. Simple. Good and bad. I'm gonna let you in. I'm transparent. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I told you when I was 5, 6 years ago when I said me and God had a conversation, I was told, man, you gonna tell people that? Now everybody say they talk to God. I talk to God every day. I can say that now and they have to worry about somebody say, you know, lost his mind. Okay, so trust me. God is a thought being. He's up here. He's in here, spirit, but he's up here in consciousness. Once you get that understanding, now you become a right thinking. Why? You put your mind and heart together and you're thinking as one. That's right thinking. Let's go. That's the concept. Now, yes, I follow the Maya philosophy, aka Semi-Tawi Shita Netta, but with a twist. My personal experiences substitute for the mythological stories about something that I can use. I can use myself. I can use my own allegorical stories. Well, they're not allegories. Why? Because they're true stories that I lived through. Not all good. Again, just true. Okay, just to make the point. I done been there. Watch this. Yeah, I mastered Greek mythology almost 50 years ago now. Okay, but the concept is I learned it, I understood it, and I implemented it, and it worked. Again, anything that you learn don't mean jack learning it. Did you implement it? Did you prove that it worked? I manifest. I was the right thinking drug dealer. I'm not proud of that, but because I was thinking, I moved to the streets like a snake through seaweed. I was doing my thing for a few years. I had a good little run in illegal organized crime. When I was 20 years old, I had pretty much absorbed a lot of Greek mythology, reading a lot of books, studying a lot of Greek stories, okay? Favorite story is Icarus, another one. Why? Because some things just stick with you. Icarus is a story about the kid who didn't listen to his father. Father gave him instruction. He didn't follow instruction. It cost him his life. I use that as a barometer. Sometimes you don't get a second chance. Pay attention. All right. So at the age of 20, I'm doing. Matter of fact, I was that age right there, right there. I was in the prime of my Greek mythology. I'm pious right there. I'm ego tripping. You couldn't tell me nothing. Pocket full of money. I'm doing my thing. I wanted that to be my prosperity picture. That's my portrait, captured in time. That's gonna always be there for me. Good memories, A lot of bad memories, but it's there. Okay, moving on. That's the concept. I use that again as a reference. Let's keep it real. Where I'm at down here. Watch this. Now, if you want to learn my right thinking philosophy, all you gotta do is listen and practice the lessons for yourself, and then you will know. Like everybody tell me, it worked. Why? They tried it. They practiced. Now, the Bible, listen to me, is a mythological book full of allegorical and astrological and zodiac concepts. But if you are a Bible thumper and you don't get the allegorical and the mythological concepts of it, you really missing. You are a sinner. Why? Because you're missing the mark. If you misinterpret the Bible, you're a sinner. Okay? Why? Because you missed the point that they're trying to make. And I see a lot of preachers practicing and teaching bad philosophy. So yeah, but watch this. It's an allegorical book, but it's the purpose of what? Instructions. What? The Bible, the acronym, they tell you basic instructions before leaving Earth. Okay, that's your, that's do you. I keep telling you, I don't have a problem with y'all philosophical points of view. I just don't follow them. No, no disrespect. All right, but yeah, myths speak a language, a different language, a truthful language that for those who understand it will get the truth. They say the student, the master will appear when the student is ready. That means you, when you listen and pay attention, you hear the truth. Okay, your discernment will say, wait a minute, let me check this brother out. I had a few people say, my man, I fell in here by accident, but I like what you're doing. I appreciate your support. Let's go. I don't let no comment go unanswered. Trust me. Now, some of y'all don't like. I don't disrespect you. Come back at you. I just do what I do and keep it moving. All right. If my philosophy don't coincide with you, you don't like what I'm doing. That don't make me wrong. Trust me on that one. And it don't mean that I got flawed information. No, I got perfect information. Trust me on that. Okay, you can fact check me. If you do your homework, you know just what I'm saying is true. So if whatever side of the coin you fall on, don't make a difference to me. Truth is truth. And if truth hurts, that must mean you're lying. Moving on, just a little quick lesson, so understand that. A myth is a story about someone or something for the purpose of what? Teaching a lesson. That's it. That's what the myth is all about. And mythology is giving a whole bunch of stories and lessons that you can adopt and learn some things. That's all. If you understand the plot of the myth, aka get the message, then the myth was good. Why? Because you gave you something. Hopefully some enlightenment, some knowledge, some understanding that will help you. Like my lessons daily. I ain't just trying to do this because I like doing it. There's a message. Some message y'all like, some you don't. Don't make a difference to me. I just get a message. You determine whether it's good or bad. The truth, watch this, is in the message, aka the myth. Now, if the myth is enlightening to the listener, it did its job to make it. I still remember Icarus. If all the stuff that I studied, all the stuff that I learned, some of it just don't go nowhere. Some of you just, if you don't use it, you lose it. But when it impact the brain, like when the Egyptians saw that eye, they knew what that was. They knew who that was. So it's symbolic. So when you instate in the brain with the concept, it stays there. So that's what all the teaching give you something that'll keep you thinking about it. Thinking about it. And the myth is stories to do just that. In the beginning, watch this. Now Native Americans didn't do no writing. They used folklore. You sit around and let when the storyteller tell the story, and everybody got to listen. Same thing in church. Go to church, the preacher, it's the same thing. Verbally giving you knowledge, okay? Stories. And it's told, not written down, hence storytelling. Okay? Sit around. And before, when I was a kid, we prayed and told night stories before we went to bed. Remember that? Telling your kids, like, reading the book to them. I remember that. Didn't understand it, didn't really get with it, but I remember it. That's parenting up to I was concerned. I never read to my kids. I didn't do that. That wasn't a part of my parenting, technique. That's all. But I remember it. That's when parents was more in tune with the kid, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, myth, folklore are given information passed down from generation to generation. That's what my father did just, my grandfather. If it was good, cool. If it wasn't good, stop that curse. Stop the bad. Moving on. Even in my life, mythological stories, watch this, they are true. I lived them myself, even through the bad. I bring that part to you. I let you know how I spent my time in prison. Simple. What? It happened. I got the memories of it. Well, all of it good. No, no, no. But it's still there, and I use it as a tool, as a deterrent. You might not want to do that. Why? It cost me 3 years of my life, and it wasn't good. Simple. P funk. Excuse me. No, no, no. Now, my myths again are what true stories of my own life experiences. Again, I can use them now to teach the lessons from my understanding and from the wisdom aspect of experiencing it. So understand that. Now I lived through the best of times. Yeah. Okay. That's the best of time right there. It didn't get no better. Okay. That was the peak of my life right there. Okay. In that drug game. Watch this. It wasn't live long, no. That it dog shit fast, dog shit long. So understand it. That lifestyle. Okay. My name stood for what? Keeping it real, aka pure real. That's was my personal mantra. So even through the bad and negative, I still maintain one air of myself, which is my integrity and my realness. And through the years, now, oh my man, you can't. I'm not to be moved now. It's a wrap. If you stay true, here you go. And for all those years, I'm 66 now, so I got 47 years of being true to the game and holding on, doing what I said I should do. Even my lower self, I still kept it real when I was doing wrong. Okay, so I know the deal. And I tell true life stories. That's what my right thing philosophy is based on. Truth, not just spiritual truth, but my life truth kicks in with that. That's what makes right thinking. Right thinking. It's a philosophical concept, just with my little personal twist that makes it mine uniquely. I ain't got to worry about trademarking. Why? You can't do this. You can't do this. So knock yourself out if you want to try. But watch this. I did that purposely. My man said, you want to do nothing with your name on it. I do. Right thinking? Mine. Moving on. If you, well, here you go. I tell true life story. I did that already. Okay. Now, you don't have to like or agree with me on my myth or my life stories, right? In the philosophy. But you can't knock it. When I get lessons from my pastor, the biblical concept, they're not mine. And when I can't knock it, I got to accept it. So I use my concept for y'all. You might not likely agree with it, but you can't knock it. So just respect it. That's what I do. Moving on. Where we at? I'm about done. I'm almost home. Where we at? Okay, now let's do this. When myths are learned and more understood, it will motivate you to what? Do your best. That's the purpose of the myth. It's a motivator. It's an inspirational. It's an educator. Get the point? Okay. Myths are philosophical, ethical, and moral lessons in life that you can live by and guarantee to prosper. God tell you, no weapon formed against me will prosper. If it's good, it'll prosper. If not, it won't grow. If you planting bad seeds, you're not gonna get nothing. Won't grow no harvest. Either you got bad soil or bad seed, either one. But it don't yield good nothing. A good seed, a good harvest will yield continuously. Give back, give back. If you put this in, you should get something back. That's reciprocity. That's what my eye represents. Okay, let me tell you right now. Let me get this thing done. Myths are what my learning tools that I use as a master teacher to what help enlighten my students with truth and understanding that they can follow and really say, yeah, okay, I can understand. I can get that. That's all. It makes sense. You don't have to like it, but it should make sense. You should not leave none of my lessons saying, well, I really understand where that brother's coming from. No, I don't want to leave you bewildered and confused. I need to enlighten you. I want to give you information and knowledge that you can actually use. Moving on, and right thinking philosophy uses as educational tool, use myths, excuse me. Right thinking philosophy, the use of myths as what an educational tool as long with along with what real life truth. Again, I'm gonna get you into what I've done, what I've experienced, for the purpose of giving you a lesson in life. That's what I call life lessons. My life. And if you learn it, you'll be your lesson. Let's go. I'll combine what I do, real life with mythological life to what? Get you to what? Know thyself. By any means necessary, I want to make that happen for you. That's how I do what I do for you. That's what I do for you. If you master right thinking philosophy, what that means, you will have learned both myth and real life lessons from the master. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I enjoy giving it. You know how I do. I'll be back.